We're going to move on to Aaron's question. He says, any tips for quitting my job? I have 9 months expenses covered and I want to invest in learning skills for a career rather than just my job, which is unskilled labor right now. Is there anything else he needs to be thinking of before he takes a leap like this?
Whew. All right, so let me walk you through just what I heard right there. I got 9 months of expenses. I'm ready to go quit the job. Okay, cool. What happens when, all right, you put your notice in today. First month, I just need a little bit of time to kind of like stretch my legs, figure things out. I'm just going to kind of enjoy not having to clock in, clock out for the first month. Second month goes by. Well, I got to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm going to start thinking through this. All right, third month, I come up with an idea. Fourth month, I try to start doing it. But man, it's slow and there's some setbacks. And then I get into the summer month. And then all of a sudden, what happens if 9 months is the expense goal and you don't yet know what it is you're shifting to? What happens at the end of 9 months? Because the most dangerous thing, in my opinion, Brian, I think you would agree with this, for someone who is anticipating leaving their job to go start their own thing or pursue some new endeavor where they're not going to have a steady income stream, is just the money running out. That's the biggest risk you have, is getting to the place to where you need some sort of income to be able to pay your bills and everything is run out. So hearing that you have 9 months of expenses, I love that on one hand, but I'm a little nervous that there's not a plan on the other hand, that this is what I'm going to start. This is what I'm going to do. And this is the plan, maybe some D's in there that I've thought through on how I'm going to make it manifest.
Plan is the key word. Is begin with the end in mind, and the fact that you just don't want to jump. I think people, we live in this society now where it tells everybody just follow your heart, follow your passion. That sounds great. It's a great bumper sticker, but if you're not putting a plan behind it to where you actually know what the execution's going to look like, you're really daydreaming. And that's just not the way it works. That's why I always talk about it. I don't care if it's a business idea. I don't care if it's a change in career. You put on your 3D glasses.
There we go.
When I talk about the 3D glasses, I'm talking about the dream plan as everything goes roses, unicorns, rainbows, all the greatness. Then you got the down to earth of what you hope will happen or you think will happen. And then you got to have the do-do plan. So that way you're addressing it now in concept versus in reality. And that's the part where, Aaron, 9 months, kudos, you've built that up. Is that enough, though? I saw a great visual that came across is like, sometimes people don't give success enough time. Mm-hmm. You are so close to the pot or the treasure or the success that's in your future. But if you just didn't keep doing the activity that was going to get you there and stopped when you were 90% of the way or bowling point that we talk about, then you'll never see the change that was waiting for you or the success or the greatness that's out there. And that's the part you got to kind of know what you're going to, Aaron, because I would hate for you to think that 9 months, but you didn't actually do the research, figure out where you're going, how long it's going to take to kind of recover. If this is a training, if this is an education, go figure out what do you think you'll make in the first 5 years after this new skill set comes in. Find out how long you're going to have to study, how you're going to get the next job, and then try to reconcile where do those two things intersect? And if maybe 9 months isn't enough, maybe I need 18 months. Mm-hmm. You just figure it's a math problem at that point. Once you get the goals, you get the emotion, and you get everything tied in, now you can mathematically figure out how do I do this right? And that's where the 3D glasses plan really helps out.
What I love is I feel like I've had a sort of a front row seat to your journey. And by the way, all of you, when Brian's book comes out, Millionaire Mission, where can they go if they want to know more about Millionaire Mission?
Yeah, go to moneyguy.com/Millionaire Mission. We're giving away tons of free perks all through the month of February, so you ought to get in there and take advantage of that.
When that comes out, you're going to hear some of these things, some of the origin story of Brian. But what I think is really interesting about when you started your business is not only did you kind of knew what you wanted to shift to. You knew you wanted to start your own financial, so you already had the idea. And not only did you save up, you had a bunch of money in cash to be able to do living expenses. One of the genius things I think that you did was you kind of side gigged your way through it. You had a very unique set of skills where you were able to do tax returns and you were able to provide a service that even though you were stepping out on your own, you had some sort of like buoy that at least helped float a touch of it. And I think what makes me nervous about Aaron is going from something, even though it's just, I think you said hourly, I can't remember what you said, some reason you don't like your job, to just nothing. maybe is there some hybrid where you can slowly transition instead of just like cut it off immediately?
Yeah, I mean, I'm forever grateful. Not only did I build up a ton of cash to try to what I'd foreseen as 3 years to get this next endeavor to work, but I recognized the burn rate was higher than I anticipated. So I was able to start doing tax returns, and then I was even going and reviewing tax returns at a friend's accounting firm, because I was, essentially side hustling with them to review tax returns as well as taking on tax returns. And that extra side money helped bridge the gap, because it is, sometimes it just takes time. You need to give yourself enough time to reach success. It's not that your talent's not there. It's not that your passion's not there. It's just you got to have enough resources to make it through the desert part or the scarcity part of that dream and that vision. And I think a lot of people don't take that into account, because that's boring, that's hard, and that requires discipline. All those things aren't really shown in the brochure that well and highlighted. So just don't shortchange those things. Everybody focuses on the passion and and how good things could be, but nobody is really honest and tells you where the dirt and the failure lies.